Hello, listeners! My name is Diamond Aaliyah Covington, and it is my great pleasure to stress a very important topic that needs to be brought to attention today. It has affected generations upon generations, and if we hope to see a united country in our future, we must act immediately. I believe that Washington, D.C. needs to turn its attention to a major issue that affects the vast majority of our country today. So pay attention, folks. Everywhere we turn, women, minorities, and different cultures are being discriminated against, purely because the image of a great America causes us to be excluded. This great divide within our country can eventually cause us to break as a whole. Women's equality, as well as women's free will over their own bodies, is still being put up to debate, which is utterly ridiculous. Not to mention the 25% wage gap between men and women. With a pay gap that large, I could probably buy a car. The discrimination brought against different cultures, including religion, has gotten to the extent in which, for one example, has earned its own phobia in the Oxford Dictionary. Prejudice against race has automatically incriminated many, all based on the insignificant detail of skin color. 1 in every 3 African American men are expected to be incarcerated before the age of 47, whereas the rate of every white man is 1 in 17. Minorities, including African American and Hispanics, only make up 21.7% of the United States population, and yet is 60% of those imprisoned. It is up to us to bridge this gap that past generations have placed upon us and actually value the foundation of our country: liberty, freedom, and equality. But please, allow me to go into further detail. First off, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 protects all genders for equal opportunity, treatment, amenities, and pay of employment. Yet this act has been abused with the differentiation of pay and hiring of women in the workplace. The pay gap between men and women can make a huge difference within lifestyle of genders across the nation. In 2014, full-time, year-round working women's annual median wages were $39,621, compared with the $50,383 for men. To put this in perspective, the difference between men and women's median wages, $10,762, could cover more than 14 months of median U.S. rent in 2014, or the average cost of more than 1 year of full-time, center-based care for an infant. Not to mention, the hiring process is exponentially more difficult for women, especially in particular fields of study. It is easy for some companies to favor an unqualified male over a qualified female, simply due to preference. Some job applications may ask different questions in regards to a woman's personal life, like whether they choose to have children, or unobtainable requirements like strength, for instance. Some fields of study like science, technology, engineering, and math have a lack of gender diversity, so the little women that are in the field are seen as rarities. The need for women's equality and respect amongst all needs to start with how we are seen as individuals. Secondly, the discrimination against differentiation of culture in our country is sparking a giant rift, spreading through all generations. Americans are hardwired to reject any entire culture, purely based on a fear of several individuals rather than the culture as a whole. The nation has avoided any recognition of the religion of Islam after previous terrorist attacks. But this is not a reason to discriminate against any individual of the religion, as they should not be held responsible. America has been drilled with this sociological belief that has only been contributed to by the voices of the television personalities we hear daily. Washington has the option of stopping any propaganda used against cultures of the people that contribute and pay taxes to the very same country. America is based on equality and freedom of religion, and yet we easily forget these values when faced with the unfamiliar.
Created using Powtoon.